Right guys, so you join me in the garage now with the bonnet up, and I'm going to show you guys where the crankshaft sensor is located. Now for those of you who are looking into problems, I've had the depollution filter fault. I've coded it, and as you'll know yourself if you've got the same problem, the code's a bit vague and could be a number of things ignition related, it seems to be. A lot of them point at the crankshaft sensor. I've looked on forums and people have solved this problem by changing the crankshaft sensor. I'm not guaranteeing that's the answer to the problem, but we're going to try it and go from there. So, you know, for those of you just changing the crankshaft sensor, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace it. And for those of you with the depollution system fault, this could help. So anyway, let's see what happens. So the first thing what you do is look down into the engine bay around the exhaust manifold, and the sensor is located in this area here, and the next shot will be with my light on up close. Basically this water pipe, it's sort of just below that at the back of the exhaust manifold. Anyway, I'll get some light on, we'll get the camera in there and show you properly how to disconnect it and remove it and replace it with a new one. Let's go. So the first thing you want to do is remove this air box for ease, so you can get your hand down there and we can get to the bolt and stuff. This air box is dead simple. You've got the pipe itself, which as you can see I've already sort of half flipped out. That will just pull out with a bit of wiggling. It's got a sort of a tab there you can push in. It's just a rubber pipe. It's just a bit awkward to get your hand in there, but it will pull out. And then the air box itself is sort of slotted in there. So as you can see, if we just pull it, it just slides up and out, just like that. I don't think there's any screws in unless this has got missing screws. Well, that pulls sort of your air intake box out the way. The air filter's not in here. It's just sort of an intake box that sends the air to the air filter. So we get that out of the way, and now we can switch to a light and look down here. I'll try and show you quickly now. This is a very hard one to see. It's basically where I'm pointing the camera now, but I know you can't see much. So I'll switch to a light and I'll try and show you how it's an awkward one to film at the best of times, this. Alright guys, so as you can see I've got my camera pointed down here in this lovely big spot. The first thing you're going to notice is just to the right of the oil filter is these few wires coming out that circle. Now that's connected to the sensor, so you just want to open the tab up like so and pull the wires out of that little holder and out of the way. Again, it's quite fiddly, but you can get an hand in and get them out the way. That's sort of job number one. Get those wires out of the way, because that will reveal, if you can just see underneath that clip, underneath the wire, sorry, there's your clip. That's your electrical connection to the sensor with a little tab on it that we're going to push down and slide out. Now I am going to try and re-angle the camera for this, because I know you can't see much. It's very awkward. You can see the clip there, just there where my finger is. So we're going to get a flat screwdriver and the clip pops up and slides up. So if I put a flat screwdriver in there like so, there you go. Clip slides up and off out the way. So now we can pull that out the way, and now it's disconnected from the electricals, leaving this bolt down here. We'll get a better angle on it. So this bolt here that you can just about see my finger touching is a Torx 30 bolt, a T30 Torx bit. I'm going to get that on a bit of an extension to bring it out here past this water pipe and undo that. And after that, we should be able to loosen the sensor and pull it out. Right guys, as you can see here, we have a T30 extended bit to the socket, to an extension to the ratchet, so we've got space to actually turn it. So we're going to undo this bolt here. It's not too tight. It'd be easy to do with two hands though. I just want to show you the setup. So I'm going to get that bolt out and then wiggle the crankshaft sensor loose. It will be a little bit stiff. Don't be too rough with it, because it is plastic and it'll be brittle because it's an old one and break easy, and you do not want to break a piece of plastic inside your crank rubbing with the flywheel, and that will cause more problems. So just be gentle pulling it out. But yeah, we'll undo this bolt and we'll gently pull the sensor out and look at getting the new one in. So as you can see there, we've got the bolt loose. Let's try and show you guys pulling the actual sensor out. And the sensor is actually loose, but it's just hard to get a grip on, get a hand on to pull it out. There we go. As you can see there, the whole thing is now moving. So we've got the bolt out itself. There's your bolt. Put that out of the way somewhere safe. And then we'll try and work at the actual crankshaft sensor, should I say. Right guys, finally, after a lot of fiddling, as if you're doing this job yourself, you will know and agree with, it's simple. There's only one bolt, one connection, but it's very awkward to get to. And there's a video already online which shows it, you know, camera right in front of it, so they must have the front end of the car off. You do only need to remove this airbox, but it is still very fiddly and even harder to film, as you've just seen. But the good news is this might actually be the problem, because it's that gunged up. I can't see how that's a sensor bit where my thumb is reading anything, because it's full of rubbish and all sorts. So let's have a quick look at the new sensor. So there's the new sensor. So it's a little bit cleaner, that one. Obviously we'll compare it. It does look slightly different, this, which is worrying me straight away that it's the wrong part. So yeah, it does look like we might have the wrong part because it's not got this bit on it. But we'll see if it fits anyway. So either way, wrong part or not, you know, we've got it out and it's just a reverse of the process. The fiddliest bit's going to get this into position. You need to make sure these two lugs, one of them's not got a bolt, it just clips in a hole on the bell housing, and then this one clips in the hole in the bell housing and the bolt goes through to hold it on. So make sure they're lined up properly. And once we get it bolted up, we can slide the connector back into that. Anyway, I'll see if this is actually the right part. I've only just realised this as I'm filming. Hopefully it is, and it's still going, but it does look different. So let's have a look. So I'm going to try and get the new sensor back in on camera for you to see. If I can get my hand in. So it's basically going to pop up like that. So guys, I've managed to pop the sensor back into position. As you can see here, it just pops in very easily. So we've got the electrical connection there to slide your connector back into, and then that's obviously where your T30 Torx bolt goes in. So we'll put the bolt in first, sign it up, and then we'll slide this connector back into that and give the car a start and see if it's made a difference.